Hi Chris. So just we'll just go over this obviously from last lesson. My apologies, it took so long to send it over, but just little bits and bobs. Obviously from the front on here, you can see as we go up to the top, long term and kind of moving forward, you'd still want to see a little bit more of the shoulder turn in there as well. That still will be classed as quite a small shoulder turn, and then as again coming in with the iron, you can see how it very much sort of backs out of it, so the low point will tend to get a little bit behind the ball, so you'd see this more in a sort of driver swing as opposed to an iron swing, if you like. So again, just getting yourself a little bit more behind the ball. The lead arm can be a little bit higher and the shoulders can be a little bit more behind as well. And then as we move forward here, we want to kind of see, the pressure of movement into that left leg is good, but we don't want as much tilt back here. It's just going to effectively make the low point hit, before the ball, unless you then start sort of really holding off with the hand. So just a bit of sequence work really, like we've said. And then from the back, obviously the big thing is just getting rid of that shanky movement. And this is obviously a swing here where we're trying to hit the ball on the inside, so again you can see the club just gets a little bit flat here, which is not the end of the world if you're a short swinging sort of golfer. But you can see then the hands are very much sort of pulled down to keep that depth, and the shaft pitch does then start to get a little bit steeper in that transition. In an ideal world we want it to be shallow and at that point, and again just getting a little bit behind the ball. Again, you could say here, as the hands just move away, you can see there how they push away from the body. That then is what starts to set the club working a little bit more on the inside, obviously then a little bit flat, and at this point then again it's got to get a little bit steeper on the way back down. So you'd still just do a little bit of work on this backswing here. It still needs to be, for me, staying almost behind that line all the way back, whereas there it moves out. So as soon as you get hands moving out this way, you'll whip the head in back that way, and that's what sort of then sets you up in that position there. And again, because you haven't got a huge shoulder turn, it's a way that you create sort of depth or get the club behind you in the backswing. So just keeping an eye on this from the front end, still keeping an eye on the takeaway. There's nothing to stop you doing the drills that you're doing here, and just getting you away from that sort of shanked club, the shank sort of strike, sorry. But other than that, it's good, and you've got to relate it to the scores that you've had. Obviously you've played some decent rounds, like you said as well. So it's not, you can pick holes in anybody's golf swing, but just a couple of sort of tweaks and changes is really pretty much what it needs for now. And there may be something a little bit more thorough, if you like, going into the winter. But yeah, overall it's pretty good.